All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are live. Laura, Lorios, and Kate Murphy here with you. Laura, I just want to check in. I know we're streaming. We're getting, set up here with multiple channels. So some of you might be tuning in from YouTube. Some of you might be tuning in from LinkedIn. And then some of you will be tuning in here on Instagram.
Yeah, welcome everyone. We're so excited that you're here. We've been planning this for some time, and it's just like really exciting to finally be here. So yeah, if you are here live, please drop something in the chat to say hello. We'd love to interact with our community. Or if you're watching on the replay, we'd love to just hear replay and just hear from you that you did watch this and that you're tuning in. So yeah, welcome everyone. We're so grateful that you're here. I just first want to preface that just by showing up today, your nervous system already completed something. And I know for many of us, we can feel like we have so many open tabs, open loops all day long with like our list of things. And so maybe even just taking like 5 seconds just to acknowledge in this moment that by just showing up here, even if you're only tuned in for 5 minutes, may not be here the whole 30 minutes, and that's okay. You completed something for yourself today. You carved out time. You created a boundary. You said yes to support. And that's a win before we even begin. So I just want to acknowledge that in all of you.
Oh, Laura, I felt my shoulders drop as you named that. Like even my own nervous system was like, yes.
Yes.
Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, feels so good, right? And again, if it was only 5 minutes, you're here, or 30 minutes, for the whole time, like you still, that was completed. And I'm so glad you felt that, Kate, in your shoulders. So the next half hour is for you. This is a place where nothing is required of you. It's where your nervous system gets to settle instead of perform. I know for so many of us, particularly I think as women, especially if you're in a leadership role within your company, or maybe you're a mom, or maybe you're a founder of a company, or all the above, like you're a mom and you're a founder of a company, like it can often feel like, like something is always needed or required from you, right? So this is going to be time, this is going to be space for you, again, even if you're only here for 5 minutes, where nothing is required of you, where your nervous system gets to settle instead of perform. I know so many of us too are kind of in that ongoing kind of performance mode, and where you get to receive instead of manage, right? So many of us too have nervous systems that are consistently trying to manage, like our homes, our teams, our businesses, or even managing time, right? And others. So you're safe to arrive exactly as you are here today. So just letting that land for just a few seconds, how that feels for you in either your own body or even just in your mind, like what that brings up for you as I name that. Maybe there's a particular thought that just popped in as you heard those words. Something's really landing, something's really resonating for you here. It's like, oh, yes, finally, something not that I don't have to manage. And that Kate and I are here to lead you. Yeah. So we want to talk about just for a moment, like why the shift exists. Why did we create this space? And when Kate and I go and create something, it's always with a lot of intention. And we created the shift because we just, every high achieving woman that we support, we've noticed they all have a very similar desire. She wants to grow without burning out. She wants clarity without pressure. She wants momentum without self-abandonment. And even just take a moment right now as I name that, maybe that's you. You're like, yeah, I want that. Like I want to grow without burning out. I want clarity without pressure. I want momentum without self-abandonment. And if that's you, maybe drop something in the chat. You can drop an emoji or just say me. Just acknowledging that in you. And that's amazing. That's beautiful. And God has really kept putting the same message in our hearts, which is give these women a space, and not just women, maybe there's men joining in here too, but give these individuals a space where transformation feels like relief, not labor. So again, it's not like another thing like on your to-do list, right? And so often I think that when we're doing any type of inner work or even wanting to grow our businesses, right, it can feel like, oh, I could have another thing, right? Another tab that's open, another task, another thing required of me. And so this is really a space. The shift is a space where you get to experience transformation. Again, it feels like something is moving, there's momentum, but it feels like relief, not labor. And that's what this shift is. It's not hustle, it's not intensity, it's not more tasks. This is just small, high impact nervous system shifts that create big results for you, your business, your family, the things that matter to you in your life, and shifts that feel like completion, not chaos. Because again, there are two different types of shifts, and we've experienced even both, where you've had a shift, but then it came with some type of chaos. This is going to be a shift that feels like completion and peace. Yeah, so just even taking a moment to let that land, seeing how that lands for you, what thoughts are here, or maybe what you're sensing in your own body. And then the last piece I want to speak to here, I'm going to turn it over to Kate because we're going to ground in just a little bit more with a neuro tool here, and we'll explain what that is in just a moment. But why shifts even work better than strategies? So many of us we live in a world that is very, mind and mental focused, and there's nothing inherently necessarily wrong with that. But with that also becomes this aspect of always having a strategy that comes from the mind. And the thing is, your nervous system doesn't transform, just through information. Maybe even for some of you, listen to a lot of podcasts, like you read a lot of books, like you tune in, you're getting all this information, right? Which is beautiful. Like there's a certain element to having context, right? That can help regulate our systems. But really, our nervous system transforms through shifts. Micro adjustments that create stability. A shift is doable. A shift is digestible. A shift creates completion. And your system loves completion because completion is regulation, right? Completion is relief. Completion is momentum. And maybe even your body's already relaxing, just like hearing these words, right? So again, like this is going to be a space for you again to come and where you don't have to labor, where you get to experience a shift that doesn't require all this energy and effort and striving, which maybe for many of you, that's what your life experience has been, or that pattern has been in your system. And you get to come here and really experience completion. And also, again, like really feel that transformation in a way that goes beyond just information, that it continues to ripple out into these different areas of your life that really matter to you and the impact that you want to have. So I'm going to pause here, just let that land for you, however it needs to land. And I want to just turn it over to Kate now, who's going to just guide us through a little mini neuro tool to kind of get us even more settled into this space and primed for what we're going to discuss today.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. I appreciate you. Yeah, just kicking us off so much. I could feel my body like settling. I could feel, just all the signs of my own nervous system, like really grounding and coming online and feeling really present. I also am like feeling this gentle swaying right now as you share that. It just feels really nurturing, and like, my own system is just responding really beautifully to, everything you named. One little thing I want to add here for our viewers and listeners in our community, for those of you that might be a little bit newer to nervous system work, or like why the nervous system, I just want to share just one little soundbite as we get started before we do a little exercise here that's going to ground us and help us bring us even more into the present moment so that we can really make the most and get the most ROI out of the most precious asset that you all have, which is your time. And we don't take it lightly that you're spending time here with us, whether it's live or watching the recording. And so, our intention is to make the most of this time with you that we have. And so I always like to think of our nervous system as our command and control center. Like it is the system that makes every other system work and work better. And so oftentimes when we think nervous system regulation is a term that some of you may have heard. It's growing in its popularity. It's known more. If you look up, on Instagram, or you're on social media, or even you Google it, you'll be finding more today than you found even just a year ago. So there definitely is like more and more people waking up and understanding the importance of it, but it often gets categorized as something that's important for health and well-being. And it absolutely is. Don't get me wrong. When our nervous system was working optimally, our digestion can work optimally, our reproductive system, our cardiovascular system, all these things that are really important so that we feel really vital and we have a lot of energy and we have the ability to focus and feel good in our bodies and in our minds day to day. And that's really important by itself. And for those of you that maybe in this season of life are more focused on business growth and maybe building or growing a team, you have really specific strategic goals, whether you're a founder or you work for another business, or maybe you're a new parent and you're just trying to navigate what can sometimes feel like chaos of parenthood and the unknowns of it, especially when you're in those early days. The nervous system is just as important for those things. Laura and I, call it's our money-making system. Your nervous system is what helps you grow your business. What helps you to discern and decide what strategic projects to take on and what to say no to, and setting those boundaries. And so, what our intention is for this space is to help you to connect the dots between the topics and things and conversations that we're going to have here, and how that's really going to make a huge impact and ripple effect in your own lives, whether that's from a business perspective, a leadership perspective, whether that's parenthood, motherhood, or something that feels, like maybe more related to your health and well-being. So we always say, like, there's no topic that doesn't benefit, or no goal or aspiration or intention that you have for your life that won't benefit from this work. So you're in the right place if you are a high achieving person that has goals and intentions that you're really focused on in the season of life. We promise that what you hear and what you experience here is going to absolutely impact those goals and intentions that you have for your life. So we just want to take a few moments here just to, again, give you almost, again, a little bit of a taste of what this work can start to feel like, what the experience of it can be beyond just hearing and listening to it and talking about it in a cognitive way. Not that that isn't important and helpful, but the way that our nervous systems shift, as Laura was referencing earlier, is through the sensing and feeling of an experience that we're having. And it doesn't have to be, and it often isn't, in a really like big way. It's just these like little micro moments that we can pause and tap into all throughout our day that really start to create sustainable shifts over time. I like to think about the analogy of putting money in a bank account that earns interest. You don't, like, most of us don't have an expectation that we put in $100 today and we're going to all of a sudden have $1 million tomorrow. If you have an investment that has an interest rate on that, let me know what that is. But it takes time, right? We put money in, we let it grow bit by bit over time. And then, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, maybe not even, maybe 5 years from now or a year from now, we're in a different place. And so this is very much similar in that we're taking these 1% shifts, we're noticing, and then tomorrow we notice a shift, whether it's in our behavior, maybe it's in our energy levels, maybe it's in how we respond to our toddler when we usually snap or find ourselves really reactive, and maybe all of a sudden we're noticing that we're more understanding, we're more curious with our son or daughter or spouse. And so it's all about noticing these 1% shifts that over time lead to major transformation and change in our lives, whether that's financial change, emotional change, behavioral change with how we connect in our relationships, or maybe something really tangible as it relates to our health and well-being. So I just want to invite you, as just like wherever you're tuning in from today, just to start to notice your body in space right now. Like, notice what position you're in. Maybe you're seated. Maybe you're in your office space where you always tune into conversations like this. Maybe it's the place where you listen to podcasts or read books. Maybe it's your living room. Or maybe for you, you're moving right now and you're walking, you're out and about in your neighborhood or at the park taking a walk. Maybe you're driving and you can't see us, but you're just tuning in to our voices. Yeah, so just starting to notice like how I'm seated right now or how I'm standing right now. There's no rush or pressure to change that or make any shifts unless it starts to feel like you want to make a shift. We're just getting curious. So much of this work is about just noticing and witnessing and observing what's happening. So yeah, right now we're just taking a moment to pause and do that and get a chance to experience what that feels like. So now I'm going to invite you to, if it is accessible based on the space that you're in, like if you are driving a car, we just want to, yeah, just invite you to be really mindful of what feels safe and doable and accessible if you are on the road and if you're driving a car. If you are able to start to turn your head slowly, I just invite you to start to just turn your head to the right, and not a whole lot, just like, again, like a 1 or 2% shift toward the right, and just slowly start to gaze around the space that you're in. So just like a soft gaze in the eyes. We're not trying to analyze here. We're just simply kind of getting curious and noticing like, okay, the colors. Here in my office, I have this really pretty green paint on the wall that I'm noticing, and the way that the light's kind of shining in right now. Yeah, just kind of let your eyes move around naturally. Kind of just let them move wherever they want to move or wherever you feel the impulse for them to go. So you might start to notice like wanting to turn towards the left now. And just seeing if there's anything that kind of starts to draw your interest or your attention. Like maybe there's an object. It's like, oh, I haven't noticed that in a while. Maybe it's something that's like always on your desk, but you just haven't really noticed or looked at it in a while. Yeah, the color, the texture, even if there's something that you'd like to like touch. I have this hair tie here and it's like nice and soft and silky. It's just like even feeling the fabric here and how that feels. Maybe for you, it's like a cozy, soft blanket. And if you are in the car, or you are more on the move, and it's just easier to kind of notice things in terms of what you hear, just noticing the sounds around you. Maybe there's birds chirping or there's leaves rustling from the wind. There's a lawnmower or someone's voice that you hear off in the distance. Yeah, we're going to just be here for just another 20 seconds or so. And this practice is called orienting. It's a really simple but really powerful tool in helping our nervous systems come into the present moment and to communicate to our minds and our bodies that, yeah, this moment is safe. We're safe here. And you might mentally know you're safe, but if you're, moving through a busy day, sometimes our bodies don't always know that in the same way that our minds might know that intellectually. Yeah, so as we start to come back here, maybe there's something, that you're noticing like, oh, I don't want to stop looking at this. This feels really supportive right now, or I feel really relaxed. That's okay. Feel free to hang out here a little longer. Yeah, but my invitation to you now is just to notice any shifts. And it can just be a 1% shift. Like maybe Maybe your body feels a little bit more grounded, like rooted, like you can actually feel the connection between your sits bones and the chair now. Like, oh yeah, I'm actually like feeling really held and supported here by this chair. Maybe your posture changed a little bit. Maybe you noticed, yeah, a little more saliva in your mouth. That's a sign that things are shifting. Yeah. Yeah, one of our viewers said noticed a deeper breath after orienting. Sometimes the breath will start to shift, or we'll just notice a sigh. If you didn't notice any of those things, that's okay. That's okay too. There's no like right or wrong way or right or wrong answer when we do this. It's just about noticing what's showing up now that might feel even just 1% different than how it felt before we started. Yeah, so we'll just pause here for a few seconds. If anyone else wants to drop in the chat, let us know what that was like for you. Maybe that was the first time you've ever done something like this. Maybe you've done this a million times and you're super familiar with this tool, but maybe today it was, yeah, a little unique or different in how you experienced it. Yeah. Yeah, and so our intention here in these calls, and then I'm going to pause here and invite Laura to jump in if she has anything that she wants to add. Yeah, our intentions for these calls are for you to get a little bit of a taste of what just one component of this work looks like. So there's a lot of information out there on tools and how to regulate. And orienting can fall into that bucket of tools, like we call these neuro tools, nervous system tools that can help support our nervous system in building capacity, because that's the name of the game. And we're going to talk about capacity in a separate shift call, a separate live series session. Yeah. But this work is so much bigger than just tools alone. And what Laura and I find, and something that we're really passionate about bringing to all of you tuning in, is where most people stop with this work. And most people stop at the tools. So we're going to give you tools. We're going to give you awesome tools, but we're going to go even deeper and further than just tools. And we're going to help you really get to full on completion, like Laura was talking about at the beginning of the call, because tools don't necessarily help your nervous system access completion. And completion is like one of the core key ingredients that our nervous system needs to get us the results that we're really seeking and wanting. There's, yeah, a couple other really key ingredients here that are necessary. And we find that in most nervous system spaces and places out there on the market right now, they're stopping at just tools. Yeah, and we want to help you go even further and really connect the dots and give you the full picture of what's available to you and what's possible when you implement not just tools, but a few of these other key ingredients that we're going to talk about in future sessions. So I'm going to pause. Laura, anything that's like stirring inside of you right now as I just share some of that, or as we dropped in a little bit?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for leading us through that, Kate. I definitely, just felt a shift in my system. And of course, I've done orienting so many times with my clients and of course with myself privately. And it's interesting. I love how you named how each time we do it, even if we're very familiar with it, we still experience something slightly different. And that's what's so great about this work. It's like it continues to give you something each time, even something that you've done maybe 1,000 times. Like there's still something you experience as a shift. And I love that so much. And then the other thing that was just really sparking as you were speaking to, Kate, was just just reflecting also like on how, oftentimes I think sometimes as high performers and even like clients that I work with, like when we think of shifts, we think of has to be always like something massive, which again, like there can be an element to this work. We experience like a massive shift. But honestly, like I love how you compared it like the interest, like putting it in the bank and like letting it compound over time, because that actually what makes it most sustainable. And I find that like oftentimes people go in, like they try to go in hard with some of these tools or like this aspect of nervous system regulation, which isn't wrong or bad because we want the results. But our nervous system actually prefers these more like incremental, like 1-2% shifts that we do like over time, right? And then that would actually lead to like the sustainable results that we're looking for. So we don't have to push our way through. We don't have to like perform our way through this. It's like it just naturally is unfolding, and we're experiencing incredible results along the way too.
Yeah, I always say, or if anyone is tuning in that's a graduate of our neurosomatics program or one of our regulated CEO members, you're probably going to laugh because I say this all the time, but small hinges move big doors. We don't need big input to get big output.
Yep.
And I think so much in our society, we think push and we have to like, do these massive actions and take these bold quantum leaps in order to get where we want.
Yeah.
But that's actually one of the biggest lies that we've been sold. And that actually can be the very thing that keeps us stuck in old patterns and habits that actually keep us from where we want to be. So we're going to continue over these next few weeks to debunk some of those common myths. And again, if you find yourself in a place of like, oh yeah, I'm there right now, or I've been there, like us too. Like we're not immune from that. So this is not about shaming or blaming ourselves or judging ourselves. We've all been there. Trust me. I used to be the queen of like vision boarding and like going so hard after what I wanted to quote unquote manifest. And it was coming from this part of me, this controller part that was really trying to protect me at the end of the day. And the strategies that part of me was using to protect me very much was like pushing and controlling and just a lot of that was building up a lot of heaviness inside of me and keeping me from where I really wanted to be. And so our goal here is to help give you a new way, a way that's easier, that's lighter, that's not always pleasant, right? Like some of this work does invite us to meet parts of ourselves that, are carrying things that feel challenging or uncomfortable to be with, but we do it in a way that feels really safe, really supported, and what we call titrated, which means these tiny 1% sips that make it so accessible and also sustainable so that you can have the transformation and have the results and actually keep them. Because we know that like you all are putting in such tremendous effort and devotion into what it is that you're focused on in this season. And we want to help you get there and we want to help you stay there and not have to regress backward because of maybe the approach that you were using that just wasn't sustainable for your nervous system. So yeah, I'll pause there and I just invite you to feel into like, okay, what do I notice coming up just even as I hear that? Like that there's another way, there's another possibility. Yeah, another possibility that doesn't require me to lose myself, or as Laura mentioned earlier, it doesn't require me to self-abandon. Yeah, so maybe there's like an opening somewhere, you feel a smile creeping in or like a relief or a lightness. Yeah, so just even noticing like how is your body responding to this invitation of a different way? Yeah.
Yeah, and just noticing like what feels complete already today for you. Maybe the completion for you looks like I took a deeper breath as I was on this call, or maybe there was an insight or something that really just landed for you in a new way, something that Kate said or maybe that I said, or like how did the completion show up for you today? Maybe it was just even coming onto this call. Like that was it. That was the completion for you today. But I want to invite you just to take the next 5 to 10 seconds just to reflect on what was the completion moment for you. And even if there are still other things, that's fine. But again, we're just looking at that 1%, that one thing where there's like some completion energy here, even just by 1%. Yeah. And just how that feels. Like maybe it feels like relief. Maybe it feels like there's like a little more space now. Maybe it feels like a little bit more freedom, power, possibility. Yeah. So good. Amazing. Well, we were so excited to be with you all today for this first call of the shift. We have some really exciting topics planned for all of you. We're going to be meeting here weekly. For those of you, just to give you information, like we are going to be streaming through Instagram here. So if you're on Instagram, you can tune in weekly on Thursdays at the same time, which is 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. And then it's also going to be streaming to LinkedIn, YouTube, so you can tune in from any of those channels. That's where you can find us. And like I said, we're going to be diving into some really juicy topics. Every week, you're going to walk away with a shift. You're going to walk away with a sense of completion. And we're just really excited to continue this process of just helping you to learn more about your own nervous system and to experience these shifts on a deeper level that's then going to impact just all these different areas of your life. Like maybe right now for you, that's business, maybe for you, that's family or your income or something else. But we do guarantee you're gonna experience some type of shift just by showing up to these calls or listening to the replays. So yeah, we're just so excited that you tuned in today.
Amazing. Well, we look forward to hearing from you if something showed up for you today, especially if you're tuning into the replay and not here live, and you'd like to get in touch. Laura and I are usually pretty accessible through Instagram. If you just send us a message there, you can also comment on this and we'll reply back. So if you are watching through LinkedIn or YouTube and you just want to hit the comment button and type in something that resonated, or maybe you have a question, please feel free to drop, and we'd love to engage with you and hear from you and just let us know what's landing. And we're so excited to go on this journey with you.
Thanks,
all
everyone.
Right. Yeah, thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.